There is talks of a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hezbollah. And I need to ask the world, in which other wars have you pressured a sovereign and democratic state to agree to a ceasefire with a terrorist organization whose sole goal is the destruction of that state? Such an agreement effectively grants immunity to a terrorist organization. If we look back to 2006, we've already signed a ceasefire agreement with Hezbollah under the regulations of the UN. That is Resolution 1701, which means pushing Hezbollah past the north of the Litani River, and Resolution 1559, which stipulate Hezbollah's disarmament. The UN sent UNIFIL forces to the area, supposedly ensuring peace and the implementation of the agreement. In practice, Hezbollah has violated the agreement over the years, strengthened and armed itself, preparing its plan to occupy the Galilee and carry out a massacre of Israeli civilians. The UN abandoned Israel, and UNIFIL forces allowed Hezbollah to return to operating near the Israeli borders. Over the years, Israel complained about the violations, but nothing was done. Even when an IDF officer was killed in Israeli territory back then in 2010 by gunfire from Lebanon, nor when Hezbollah set up a tent in Israeli territory in June 2023. In the past year and 2 months since Hezbollah decided to join the campaign against Israel, we've seen the incessant missiles firing into northern Israel and sometimes into the center on a daily basis. We've seen the quantities of weapons and tunnels that Hezbollah had prepared in its territory, while UNIFIL turned a blind eye. And their spokesman himself confirmed that they knew about it. This mistake must not be repeated. Hezbollah must not be allowed to arm and strengthen itself once again, lying in wait for the day when it will carry out its plans. No country in the world would be willing to live with such a threat on its borders. We all want to live in peace and security in Israel and in Lebanon. Understand that weakening Hezbollah is a Lebanese interest no less than it's an Israeli interest. But the bottom line is, Israel can no longer rely on anyone but ourselves.